Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Mark Diver, aka Miso Corny, coming to you straight from the dojo. Today's tutorial is going to be about how to properly clean and assemble an airbrush, as well as all the things you're going to need to do so. Before I begin, I would just like to say, if you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. On top of that, you can also follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. These are all awesome resources for you to become a better painter and also just support the hobby. So with no further ado, let's jump into it. Some things that you're going to need to start off are going to be a shot glass. And in that shot glass, you're going to want to put a combination of water in either simple green or some sort of airbrush cleaner. Naturally, if you're going to want to clean an airbrush, you're going to need to have one, so an airbrush. After that, you're going to want some of these pipe cleaners, a wrench that should be coming with your airbrush, and one of these brass nozzle cleaners. Toothbrush is always handy and necessary, and then here's the secret weapon, some Hops No. 9 gun oil. Alright, so you just finished up painting. You're going to want to put that airbrush into your shot glass filled with that cleaning agent. Now you're going to want to take that toothbrush and scrub every nook and cranny of that bad boy. Clean the outside, clean the inside, scrub the tip, and then do it over again, just like brushing your teeth. You want to get all the plaque off. Spray it with some water, drain it out into your bucket that should be below your knees. Now I get a little bit excited here with the wrench. I was getting excited with the tools, but first you're going to want to take off the tip, and then, oh, no, not yet. Yeah, there you go. You're going to want to take out the needle. Pull that needle out. Now you're going to want to take off the front tip of it. After that, you're going to want to unscrew that back compartment. And in that back compartment is going to be the spring as well as the backstop to that trigger. I think it kind of all comes out in one for me in this tutorial here, but there are 3 different pieces. Then obviously take out the trigger. Now that you've unassembled everything, we're going to show you how to reassemble it. So first, once again, scrub-a-dub-dub with that toothbrush. Get into every nook and cranny that you can where you see paint. Try to get all of the major areas clean, including the outside, just to make it look nice. Then we're going to bring in some of those pipe cleaners. There's like 3 different sizes of pipe cleaner that I think what is like 5 or something different sizes. Actually, you're going to want to be using every single size, no matter how many you're given. Get in there as good as you can. Try to get all of it cleaned out. There's a size that's small enough to, I believe, go all the way through the airbrush, so use that one a lot. They're pretty cheap, these things. You can find them on Amazon, everything that I'm showing you here. I do use an Iwata Eclipse airbrush, just in case you are wondering. So yeah, every single piece that you have that you can fit one of these wire cleaners into, try to do that. Because the cleaner that your airbrush is, the easier it is to use and the less it's going to jam up on you while you're painting, which can get really frustrating. Alright, after that we're going to give a quick cleaning of the brass nozzle. Now this is what this tool is used for. It's like a mock needle. You're going to put that in there and then try to scrape any of the excess paint that might be jammed in that nozzle. This is a big step here. Everybody should be doing this. This is where most of your clogs are going to occur. Now we're going to go into using that Hops No. 9 gun oil. Put a little bit of the tip of that instrument. You're going to want to do the same exact thing over again. Put it through, make it come out of the tip of that nozzle, and what that's going to do is it's going to prevent paint from sticking onto the tip of that nozzle, and prevent it from clogging up on you a little bit. And now the real use for this Hops No. 9, the main use, putting it on all the threads. The reason why you want to do this is that it's going to keep the air in the airbrush. Sometimes you'll see it where you're airbrushing something, you're painting something, and you're seeing little bubbles come out of the tip. That's not good. That means that there's kind of a leak, and your threads aren't tight enough, or your stuff isn't tight enoughly screwed into the thread. So this is going to help prevent that. Get that nozzle on there. Now, you might have seen me use that wrench. When you're using the wrench, don't tighten it too much. You just want to make sure that it's snug. I've done it where it gets too tight and it can be annoying. After that, put a little dot, just a dot, inside where that trigger goes. This is going to almost act as a suction for that trigger to go down, and then obviously a lubricant, reduce the friction. It might take you a few tries, but when you get it in there, it should click up and down, and that bottom piece should move in and out. That controls the air going in and out of the airbrush, so that's pretty important. Then you put that backstop to the trigger in there. After that, slide into the spring. And you're going to want to screw the back part of that compartment in there. That's going to keep all that stuff that we just put in the backstop and the spring up against that trigger, so you have some good action on the airbrush. Now you're going to want to take your needle, put some of that Hops No. 9 gun oil on the tip of that needle, so when it goes through the airbrush, it does the same exact thing that you just did with that mock needle, that brass nozzle tool. Puts it through, makes it nice and smooth. Give it a little tap on the back, kind of finesse it in there, make sure that it's all the way up. Airbrushes can be somewhat delicate, so you don't want to just jam it in there. And then screw that little screw on the back, and there you go. Airbrush is assembled. Voila. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Once again, feel free to click subscribe and follow me on my other channels. Keep it corny out there, everybody. Adios.